Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. They look beautifully relaxed, don't they, folks? Ladies and gentlemen, firstly now, on behalf of Timothy and Rowena, may I bid you all a very special welcome to beautiful Pepper's Airlie Beach Resort. I'd like to ask you all now to celebrate with me this beautiful and enjoyable ceremony. In the time that I've got to know Timothy and Rowena, they've always led me to believe that real love in marriage is something beyond the warmth, the glow, the excitement and the romance of being deeply in love. It's caring as much about the welfare and happiness of your marriage partner as about your own. However, real love is not being totally absorbed in each other. It's looking outward in the same direction together. Now, love makes burdens lighter because you divide them. It makes joys more intense because you share them. It also makes you stronger so that you can reach out and become involved with life in ways that you dare not risk alone. Now, the beautiful thing about love is that it's an experience that we share with the whole of mankind throughout the world. And yet, to everyone who falls in love, it's the most unique and precious thing in the world. Of course, a really happy marriage is founded on love. You know, love works in ways that are wondrous and strange. And there's nothing in life that love can't change. Now, love is of its nature unselfish, understanding and kind. Love always sees with the heart, and not so much with the mind. And there can be no stronger bond between a husband and wife to ensure and secure a happy married life. Of course, harmonious wedded life is a precious gain to both man and to woman because joys are increased and sorrows are diminished by being shared. Marriage also increases the scope of responsibility. It also adds a dimension of love to life, giving it new meaning and giving it new purpose. On this very special day, Timothy and Rowena, the day of your marriage, you stand somewhat apart from others by this open expression of your love. Of course, this is as it should be. Now, love is not meant to be the possession of two people alone. Rather, it should serve as a source of common energy, an energy that will always give you the strength to live your lives with joy and with courage. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Timothy and Rowena have chosen a reading adapted from 1 Corinthians 13. Of course, as you know, when Paul was speaking to the Corinthians, he always spoke to them about the love that we all share as an ideal in our own personal relationships. And what he said was that love is always patient and kind and is never jealous. Love is never boastful or conceited. It's never rude or selfish. It does not take offence and it is not resentful. And love takes no pleasure in other people's faults, but it delights in the truth. It's always ready to excuse, to trust and to hope. And instead also that true love never ever comes to an end. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ivan Conway. I am a marriage celebrant, duly authorised to officiate marriages in accordance with Australian law. Now before you, Timothy, Mark, Kasper, and you, Rowena and McGee. I join together in marriage in my presence and in the presence of all of these lovely people. I have an obligation to remind you of the solemn and the binding nature of the relationship into which you are now about to enter. Marriage, according to law, is the union of a man and a woman to the exclusion of all others, voluntarily entered into for life. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, what would a wedding ceremony be without the giving away of the bride? And of course, today is no exception to that. And did you know that when thinking people conclude one of the real values in life and they come to decide what really matters, it is, of course, human relationships. One of the most understated but deepest relationships in human life is that between a brother and his sister. Now, one of the rare occasions that this relationship is acknowledged is here at a wedding ceremony. John has the privilege this morning of representing all of us here. He particularly represents his family, but today, in a very special gesture, he now symbolises his own personal love for his sister Rowena. So, mindful of these values, John, I'd like to ask you today, who now brings this woman to be married to this man? Thank you very much. Now, Timothy and Rowena, I'd like to ask you both now to affirm to each other that you freely choose to combine your lives in matrimony together. Are you ready to do so? Yes. Timothy, will you now then take Rowena to be your lawful wedded wife? Will you love and respect her, be honest with her, and stand by her through whatever may come so that you can genuinely share your life with her? Thank you. And Rowena, do you also now take Timothy to be your lawful wedded husband? Will you love and respect him, be honest with him, and stand by him through whatever may come so that you can genuinely share your life together?
I do.
May I please ask you now to share your marriage vows with each other? Timothy, I'd like to ask you first to share your vow with Rowena. Would you do so by repeating after me? I call on all present.
I call on all present.
To witness that I, Timothy,
To witness that I, Timothy,
take you, Rowena,
take you, Rowena,
as my wedded wife,
as my wedded wife,
to have and to hold from this day forward,
and have and hold from this day forward,
for better, for worse,
for better or for worse,
for richer, for poorer,
for richer or poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
for the rest of my life.
for the rest of my life.
Rowena, would you please now share your vow?
You left the door back at home.
I call on all present
I call on all present
to witness that I, Rowena,
to witness that I, Rowena,
take you, Timothy,
take you, Timothy,
as my wedded husband,
as my wedded husband,
to have and to hold from